Coming next, we have our speaker, Marc Ramis, from Managing Partner of Montana Impact Fund and Venture Partner at Ship2B Ventures, who will discuss the challenges of financing in the pediatrics. So, the floor is yours.
Hi. Well, good morning. Thank you, everyone, especially the organizers and Kids Poland for inviting us. It's a pleasure to be here. 2 years ago, when we were doing the i4Kids in Barcelona, and we were thinking about doing an i4Kids abroad, so here we are, no? So I think we have a recognition for that, to be able to start to internationalize i4Kids and this event here, okay? So thank you also, Faye, for your presentation, because actually you make, maybe I don't need to do the presentation, because actually you made my point. So the top one barrier here is financial, okay? And that's basically the challenge that we are trying to achieve through this fund I'm going to explain to you in a few minutes. But this has been a work that we have been doing together with i4Kids for the last 2 years on trying to find ways to go through this financial barrier. So these two kits basically represent two different concepts. One is pediatric innovation. The other one is impact investing, okay? So after this analysis, we kind of realized that one potential solution, and that's what we are testing right now with Montana, is to basically synergize between these two kits. The concept of pediatric innovation that you know very much a lot, and then the concept of impact investing. So if we think about 1 second on pediatric innovation and we focus on the financial barrier, we'll see that basically how projects reach pediatric innovation. So they are basically at many children's hospitals around Europe, around the world, and they are, some of them, well-funded by public funding, great scientists, pediatric philanthropy, and then some of them go to become pediatric innovation, generate some intellectual property, some know-how, something that could be interesting to reach the patient. And then there's some institutions that they are pushing that, consortiums trying to push that, but basically there's still a gap between this pediatric innovation and the impact on children's health, okay? We describe that gap of innovation to patient. So one potential solution that is actually already working is the idea to create startups, okay? Find founders, people who is really excited about doing that particular job, not the previous job, and then give them tools, give them money, basically capital, to do it. So I have like a couple of questions for myself and for the audience. How these ventures are currently funded, how these companies, these startups, the ones that they are already trying to bring the innovation to the patient, how they are being funded. They are funded by traditional VC. I don't think so, because much of them, as 1.6, 1.9% of venture capital invest in pediatrics. So basically, they are not well funded by VCs. And the second is venture philanthropy. Normally, they are not feeling well investing in ventures. So they invest more on the public research, they invest more on the hospitals. So it is enough? Clearly not, okay? So basically, the idea here is to how we can increase this patient access to the innovation by building more and more startups in pediatrics. And there are basically two ways to do it. One is increasing the venture building activities. So going through the first step of this venture building and increasing capabilities there by pushing more research, more venture philanthropy, pushing the first steps of a venture building, pulling from institutions, like, for example, there's a very interesting case in the UK where actually a non-profit foundation is funding the venture building process of a new company for a particular need that is being identified by the foundation. And the second one is that how we can increase this 1.6% of VCs that they are investing into pediatrics. Because the more capital they deploy, and that's the professional VCs that we need to deploy funding into the startups, the more that these startups will be able to reach the patient. Where we need professional VCs to become the investors of our startups. And that can bring success cases. So I'm not saying that pediatric ventures are not funded by VCs. We have actually successful cases in Europe. One of them is Minorix. This is a startup from Barcelona. And this company has been massively funded by VCs, well-recognized VCs, and they reach clinical trials. So it's possible that they can do it when they see that there's an interesting project. Another one that I know very well is Thebiotex, and this did not get funding by VCs, but they managed to reach also clinical data together with impact investors and crowdfunding. So you have here two successful cases to reach the patient, okay? Because both of them are on clinical trials. So actually kids are they got access to this innovation. So that's what I'm saying, that we need more and more and more Minorix and Thebiotex in therapeutics, same in medical device, digital, all type of technologies. So one thing we can do is scale up more and more and more entrepreneurs and ventures, and the other one to scale up is to bring more venture capital firms to invest in pre-seed and early stage and seed early stage companies. So in order to do that, our approach is this new modality of investment called impact investing. So you will see in the news, in many reports, actually many VCs, that they are saying that they are doing impact. Impact is the, is the new word that is everywhere. But who is really investing in how they are doing? They are really doing impact investment or not, okay? So one way to measure that is by this, and I suggest you to go to this really interesting, the GIN, the Global Impact Investing Network. You will see there many reports and information that actually what means impact investment. But to summarize, for me, it's like 4 different ideas, especially the 3 of them. One, intentionality. What means intentionality? The funders, they are looking to find a solution for a particular problem, and they are not going to change the mission of the company because the investment. So I give you an example. Let's consider there's a platform technology company who likes to sort a solution for a particular pediatric tumor. The same platform technology can be used for adults, okay? And they maybe have the opportunity to get investment from VCs to develop first an adult solution. But the intentionality of the team is to do it for kids first, pediatric first. So that's very important. And that type of founders are the ones that they are able to get impact investment. The second one is that you have to be able to measure the impact. And by measuring the impact, it doesn't mean, okay, this is going to reach whatever number of kids. No. It's not like that, okay? They are a methodology that has been developed for years, and then you need to be aligned with this measurement. Impact measurement, very important. There has to be financial returns. This is not philanthropy, okay? So you have to provide profit for your investors. And the last one is that you have to work in a range of assets, meaning that you have to focus in a particular technology, in a particular group of assets. So if you want to apply for impact investment, you have to be able to accomplish all these 4 concepts. And this is something very interesting because about 10 years ago, this was not even, I think, in the agenda. So there's something that is emerging. And if you measure, there are also papers from the same, how traditional investment, responsible investment, and impact investment is going to grow in the next 10 years, you will see how this impact investment will grow a lot. So what means impact investment in healthcare, or at least for us at Montana? Means that you have to provide, so here on your left you have an expected financial return axis, and then on the bottom, approach to impact. So for example, philanthropy is passive on approach to impact. Sometimes they don't look for evidence base, and they are okay with a complete loss of capital. They don't mind if they lose the whole money. Impact investment is in the other side. So we are looking for market rate, return of investment, together with evidence base of the impact. Okay, so startups in pediatrics should be at that part, at that corner of. You can find this information again at the Global Impact Investing Network. So, as I was saying at the beginning, if you put together these two concepts, the one from pediatric innovation and impact investment, you will see that makes a lot of sense to build a vehicle, a private vehicle, based on this new modality of investment, called impact investment, to invest only in pediatric innovation. Okay, and that's basically the concept that is emerging globally. There are already, then you will see in a slide, there are already 3 funds in the US that they are a pediatric fund for impact investment. We met them 2 weeks ago in London, and I discovered there was another one in the UK that is emerging. Obviously, the British, they want to do their own. And there's another one in Canada. Okay, so, and we are the one that we are building the same concept in Europe. So basically, there are already 4 or 5 funds, and we think that there are going to be more in the next 5 years. And the reason is because it makes a lot of sense to find a solution to achieve the financial barrier on pediatric innovation by using this new modality of investment. So there's a complete rationale behind this. And that's Montana. I'm going to briefly introduce you the fund. So last year, I think I was saying here in the same Pediatric Innovation Day that we are going to do a fund and we are going to register a fund. So basically what we did the last year is doing that. Okay, so that was possible basically for 3 different parties. The one that brings us experience, the one that brings us knowledge about pediatric innovation, that is the Barcelona Children's Hospital. The one that is giving us knowledge, information, experience on impact investment, and is Ship2B Ventures. Ship2B Ventures is one of the leading VC firms in Europe on impact investment. They already raised 55 million on the first fund, and they have been invested by the European Investment Bank. So these guys, they know about impact investment. Actually, I know them very well because they invested in Thebiotex, in one of the companies I was co-founder. And basically, together, we went to them and said, we have this crazy idea to have a pediatric innovation impact. And they say, no, this is not crazy. It makes sense to us. So let's do it together. And the third party is our motivation. So Kids Barcelona is an organization. Ricard is here. Hello. And they are the kids that they are doing things. They are pediatric patients. And we asked them can you help us to brand for this fund? And the name Montana comes from their idea. So basically, there's I don't know if there's in the south, there's a type of wind called Tramontana. It's the wind of impact. And basically, they like to see that as a wind of change, okay, as a wind to impact. And that's the why we call this Montana. Okay, Tramontana was a bit, for English, a bit difficult, no? But so basically, Montana is the second fund of Ship2B Ventures. It's a 30 million fund. We are going to invest in the next 4 years, 16 to 18 companies. Next year at the Pediatric Innovation Day, I hope I can already disclose the first 2 investments that we are planning to do during 2024. It's based around the children's health. We are not going to invest anything outside of the pediatric field, and we are agnostics in terms of technology. The idea is to identify needs, okay? The idea is that our mission is that every child deserves a healthy childhood, and this is not happening. You know that much better than me. So the idea of the fund is to focus in particular situations, and then, you know, work with this synergistic model of impact investing into the life science sector and going to impact investing in children's health. I've been inspired by John Parker from Spring Hood Ventures, and he always says that the market is not, and this is true, so the market is not small, so it's a growing market. We have the opportunity we have no competitors on that, so we are able to access the best pediatric innovation in Europe. And we have a lot of support from public institutional investors. They are very interested into this fund. So we are going to take advantage, and our investment thesis, and we are very proud about that, is an investment thesis around the kid. So we have 3 different pillars. The first one is prevention, everything that we can do to prevent disease. The second one is cure, treatment, developing drugs for kids first. And the third one is about life, quality of life of the kids after being a patient. So this is our investment thesis, and around our investment thesis, we identify challenges. So for example, one particular challenge would be, so for example, 70–80% of the drugs that they are being administered to kids, they are being developed for adults. So our idea is to develop drugs for kids first, and then repurpose the drugs for adults. So basically the other way around, the other way business model, and prove that this is actually a profitable business, and it is. So the idea is to do that. As I was saying, we are not the only ones. So if you have a startup and you want to contact investors, I extremely suggest you to contact them as well as us, sorry. And they are, and actually we are talking to do co-investments together. And this is Spring Hood, Health Innovation Capital, Next Step Venture, and Cross Border in Canada. Most of them, they are investing also in pre-seed and seed stages. Our experience, it's basically the combination of our experience in biotech. So I have been an entrepreneur before being an investor, and we have been able to raise seed and Series A rounds around both in Europe and in the US. And as I was saying, Ship2B has an amazing impact investment experience with already this small fund and the second fund, the big one with the European Investment Bank. And together we have been working in many pediatric projects, as you can see here, therapeutics, digital, medical devices, but we have a quite strong track record in Europe on that. And we have the collaboration with all the, with many hospitals. I don't know why this is not working, but basically our network, this is where we are going to scout, actually we are already scouting projects. The idea is to analyze between 100 and 200 cases per year, okay? During our first year, we already have 80 projects identified. We have received more than that, but 80 is the ones that we already identify, with the idea to invest in the next 4 or 5 years into 16 companies. So we are going to be very, very, and that's a normal rate from what you receive as a project and what do you invest. And the type of investments, we are going to do between 2 and 3 Series A, where we are going to be the anchor investor, and we are going to co-invest with other investors, the ones that you see before, or maybe traditional VCs that we are able to convince them to invest into a startup pediatric. The main focus of the fund is seed. So we are going to do between 8 to 10 seed investments that will qualify a funding team with intentionality, proof of concept, strong IP. And then we will be also able to do some venture building ourselves. So around 10% of the fund, we are going to allocate that to create the companies together with the entrepreneurs. And that's, I think, a very, very interesting modality for you to apply. So because we are going to actually, we have the experience to, also the lessons learned to do the venture building and to convince other investors, and we are welcome, and that's basically what we are very hands-on on that. We love to do that with founders. And that's pretty much my presentation, and thank you very much.